Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the lateral entry process for the second year MBA programs in the colleges that come under the purview of CET Cell. So some of you may have come across this update on social media and different news channels. So it said that engineering students can now gain lateral entry into the second year of the MBA programs in Maharashtra. So this change has been implemented and the CET cell, the Maharashtra CET cell, has now announced the process for entry, which is the lateral entry. Now there are two aspects to this. One aspect is for students who have completed their engineering or a 4-year BBA or a BMS program. The other is there is option for working professionals as well. So people who have 1 year of experience, but then there are some conditions that have been given on the CET cell website. So what I'm going to show you is what all things come under this, and if you're thinking of applying, then whether you should apply or you should not apply. So we'll talk about the pros and cons and all of that in this particular discussion. So the first thing that you need to do is go to the CET cell website. Okay, now who should be looking at this? First of all, let's understand that. So it clearly states that you should be somebody who has completed a 4-year graduation program, which is either a BE or a BTech. And if you're somebody who had, let's say, a BBA or a BMS program of 4-year duration, then you can apply. Because when you start filling the application for this, you will realize that under the degree heading, you don't have any other degree options also. So I'm going to show you all of that as to how to access. So this is for people who have done the 4-year graduation program, either a BE or a BTech or a BBA or a BMS, which is 4-year duration. Now people who have 1 year of experience, they can also apply for working professional category, which is there. But there are some conditions there. So it's not for everybody. For private sector, there are some conditions, etc. that they have given. So keep that in mind and go through the document, then only decide whether you want to apply. Now what will happen through this route, if you decide to sign up through this route, is that you will get into the second year of the MBA program. You will not get into the first year of the program. So which means that you will miss out on the first year. So all the fun that people typically have in the first year of MBA, you're going to miss out on that experience. The second thing is that you will not get an opportunity to go through the fundamentals and the foundations of management discipline, because first year of MBA is something that is common to everybody. People end up studying everything under the discipline of management, starting from finance, marketing, HR, operations, systems, IT, and so on. So you cover all of those things in the first year. So when you get direct entry into second year, clearly you'll be missing out on the wholesome experience that is there. But if you're somebody who is thinking that no, I'll also end up saving 1 year in the process, you may consider applying for this particular option. You must be thinking whether I need to have a written test score in the form of, let's say, a CAT, CET, CMAT score to apply for this. The answer is no, you don't need to have any score. So if you're scored low on these tests, or let's say if you're not taken these tests, you can still apply. Now let me walk you through the process of application. So the first thing that you'll have to do is go to the CET Cell website. So even if you just Google for CET Cell Maharashtra, you will find it. And once you are on this, go to this option called CAP. Now some of you who have taken the either the MBA CET or CMAT and you already applied for the centralized admission process for the first year, that is an independent process. So don't get confused between these two. What I'm talking about is the lateral entry for the second year. CAP, which is the typical MBA CAP that happens every year, that is a separate process. So I'll show you where it is. So you click on CAP and go to 2024-25. Now here you're going to see a lot of options, right? On the left hand side, this MBA MMS is what people who are trying to get into the first year of the MBA MMS program would have already done. So I'm assuming that most of you have already completed your application for the 2-year full-time MBA program and you're trying to get into the first year. You've taken CET, CMAT, etc. You have completed your application through that route, which is the MBA MMS there. If you scroll down a little bit, at the bottom you will see two more options. Now these options are, the first one is MBA second year lateral entry and then MBA MMS working professional. So if you fit into the definition, you can apply for working professional as well. I'm going to show you this first. The process for the remaining remains more or less the same, so it's not going to be very different. I'll show you the first one, which is the lateral entry. Now this portal looks slightly different compared to the CAP portal that is there. Having said that, the form was exactly the same. So I tried going through the form and it has pretty much all the same set of questions. The only difference is that they are not asking anywhere to enter your CET, CMAT, CAT score, etc. So there is no place to enter your test score at all. It's not required. It's nowhere mentioned in the eligibility. So what they have given is the registration has started. The important dates is 2nd August, right? So you have to complete this process by 2nd August 5 p.m. So let's go to the important dates once. Now the registration started on 25th. It will continue till 2nd August, and you also have to complete the document verification either in e-scrutiny mode, which is electronic mode, or by visiting the physical FC centers that are there, and you have to finish this by 3rd August. So those of you are thinking of applying for this, you have to take a quick call and make an application. The application form fees is 1200 for general, and for reserve category it is 1000 rupees. So if you are thinking of applying, take a decision as early as possible and make an application. So what will happen is, now the steps that you need to do is, first of all you go to the home page, and here you can start registering. So there is a new candidate registration. Now there are some questions that they have asked. You can fill this information. This will ensure that you have created your account. Once you create an account, you are going to get an application number, and post that you can complete the rest of the application. Now the form is exactly same as the 2-year CAP form that is there. On this channel you will find a video. We'll also ensure that we put a link in the description wherein you can go through that form filling guideline to understand what all fields are there. The only field that is not there, as I mentioned earlier, is the test score. There's no place to enter that. So even if you don't have a test score, you can apply for this particular thing. But the important thing here is the eligibility, right? So let's go to the eligibility once. Yeah, as you can see on screen, this is clearly mentioned. So for 2nd year lateral entry admission, right? So this is the important part of it, which is should have passed BE or BTech or BBA or BMS of 4 years. If you don't fit into this definition, then you are not eligible for this particular program. Okay, you cannot apply for the direct second entry route. Any other eligibility criteria, there isn't much that they have given there, so you can ignore that. But you just need to have the 4-year BE BTech or BBA or BMS to apply for this. I repeat, this, if you let's say apply through this route, which is by creating account on this particular platform, you get an allotment. What will happen is you will get an admission into direct second year of the MBA MMS program at various business schools that come under the discipline or under the purview of CET cell. So you must be thinking how many seats will be there, right? Because that has not been released first of all. So what they have mentioned is that the CET cell will be mentioning how many seats are there in each of the institutes. Now where do these seats come from? So see, what happens is once they have the regular cap for the 2-year MBA program, at the end of first year it may happen that there are some students who have dropped out of the program during the first year. It typically does not happen a lot in top tier institutes, but in the second or third tier institutes, it happens a lot that people drop out from the program. Or there is other possibility that they are not even able to fill all the seats for the first year itself. So let's say the sanction intake is 60, and through cap rounds that happened, the college was able to fill only let's say 40 seats. So these 20 seats are vacant at the end of the first year. So when they go for second year, these 20 seats is what people are fighting for. So this will mean that the total seats that will be available are going to be on the lesser side. You're not going to have a lot of seats. For example, think of say a JBIMS for example. Would you be able to get into a JBIMS through this? I strongly doubt, because unless somebody dropped out in the first year, there isn't going to be any vacant seat at JBIMS, correct? But can you get into some of the other colleges that are out there? The answer is yes, possible. So if you think that, okay, there is an opportunity for me to do this, you can sign up for that. The list of colleges and how many seats are there, that has not been released. We'll have to wait for that. You'll have to take a leap of faith and apply and then see what happens, right? So this is regarding the lateral entry for students who have done BE BTech or a 4-year BBA BMS. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the next thing, which is lateral entry. So there's also for working professionals. So let me show you that. So there is MBA MMS for working professionals. Let's click on this. And the portal is more or less similar. There are three options that they have given. Okay, so once you click on this website, let's see what happens. You'll be taken to the home screen of the working professional entry route. Now here they have given firstly the important dates, that's same as what you have for lateral entry, which is 2nd August, right? So if you click on this, you will see that you will have to apply by 2nd August. Now if you go to the information brochure, there are a few things that are important, so let's go through that. Now what they have given is the definition of what kind of work experience you should have, right, if you're somebody who is applying under this. So in addition to the qualification and eligibility for the program, which stays as it is, you will also have to fulfill rather these conditions that are given. So the candidate shall be working professional in registered industry or organization, private, public limited, MSME, etc., located within 50 km. Now, for some of you, this may seem very, very difficult to figure out. You can use Google Maps, etc. You should be able to find it. The second thing is the candidate shall have minimum of 1 year full-time or regular working experience in registered industry. Okay. Or public limited, private limited company, or MSME. So 1 year full-time experience is what you need. The other thing that they have given is the timing for conduct of classes normally shall be in the evening hours, etc. So this will also require permission from your employer wherever you are working, because otherwise you may not be able to do this particular program. The other thing that they have given is minimum admission required to run the course will be 1/3 of the intake in each course. So again, this seems like something that will not hold true for a lot of institutes, because they have their regular programs and they already have a decent intake there which has been filled through your cap rounds and all of that. They will not have so many seats that people can try for. So I'm not sure how many people will end up trying for this particular route, which is the working professional route. But let's say if you're somebody who wants to make an attempt, try it out, see if things work for you, you can do an application, right? So I'm not completely saying no, don't apply into this particular thing, but understand that the chance of getting a good institute is not going to be that high. You are possibly looking at some of the options where you don't have enough candidates, right? Maybe that is not the first preference for a lot of students, and that is why the institute was not able to fill their seats in the first year, or a lot of students dropped out and so on. So the overall options aren't going to be that great, both for the lateral entry for the engineering students as well as for the working professionals. But let's say if you're somebody who wants to make an attempt for this, definitely consider trying. If you're lucky, you might get into some of the good colleges, but don't keep a lot of hopes on this particular thing, because you never know how things are going to work out. We'll also have to see first of all how many seats are there. That information is missing at this point of time while I'm recording this video. We'll wait and watch and see how many seats are finally there in each of the institutes. You may be thinking, which colleges should I be putting as preference? You can go to IMS India website. We'll again give a link in the description through which you can find what should be the ranking or the order of the preferences. So this is an update that I wanted to share with all of you. Hope it has helped. You can go through the detailed document that is there on the website. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in a comment. Okay. Thanks everyone. Wish all of you all the best.